Arcane is the latest series to hit the Netflix viewership by storm. Not only is the animation style brilliant, but it effectively brings to life the beloved video game characters from Riot Games. Arcane serves as an origin story from pivotal fan favorites like Vi, Jinx, Caitlyn, and the mysterious Silco. This prequel opens up the world of the League of Legends character roster, and it's only beginning as Netflix and Riot Games have announced that Season 2 has been approved. The worlds of Piltover and Zaun were forever changed by the events of Season 1, and it all started with strange experiments in a robbery gone wrong by young Vi and her family. These stories have proved extremely popular as Arcane landed in the top 10 series list in over 52 countries. This can be attributed to the brilliant writing and release format. Netflix tried something new by releasing Arcane in 3-episode batches, and it kept the hype for the season up for a month, giving it great publicity. With that, the co-creators recently made an announcement. We're beyond happy about the positive response to Arcane's first season, and we're working hard with creative wizards at Riot and Fortchai to deliver a second installment, said co-creators Christian Link and Alex Yee. It's been revealed that Season 2 was in production at the time of the announcement. That means that writing and storyboarding for new and continuing characters is on its way. Arcane Season 1 was originally meant to air in 2020, but of course the global health issue pushed things back to November of 2021. If there are no more delays, then can we expect an earlier release for the second installment? But how early? What can we expect from Arcane Season 2, and who will make an entrance into the series? Let's find out. Before we go on, I'll give you a quick synopsis of the Season 1 finale. We left the gang in a hell of a mess. Jinx had succumbed to the years of trauma she suffered under Silco's Tetliage, and she murdered him after finding out her sister Vi was alive. She and Vi clashed on several occasions, with Jinx developing unhealthy jealousy of Vi's new partner, Caitlyn Kierman. At the Capitol, Mel and Jace dealt with some relationship issues, and Victor started to feel the neglect of his former science project turned council member Jace Tallis. Victor's former mentor Sign got to show off some of his monsters, and there was a hint at the resurgence of Vandir. Then came the attack in the Capitol that certified Jinx as public enemy number 1. For the casual viewer, Jinx can be seen as a frustrating character who always comes in to ruin the progress of those around her at the right time, hence her name Jinx. But there's still a lot of source material in the League of Legends world that makes her far more complex than that, and the showrunners are looking to continue the Arcane world with multiple seasons. The Season 2 announcement was full of teases about what will happen. In a 30-second clip, we hear Caitlyn and Vi in a conversation about how they might deal with Jinx in the future. A lot of people have been getting hurt, and we hear Vi freaking out over having to handle her sister herself. We even get a sliver of Jinx's wild vocals as she confronts her sister. It's definitely going to be a very strong story point in the next season, but more on that later. As much as some think that an animated production is easier than a live-action feature, they're both equally painstaking to make, and sometimes animated films or series are far harder to create. Greg Street, who is head of creative development for Riot Games, put things into perspective, saying, "Creative development and production is hard, especially in a world where you can't see your coworkers in real life. We have video meetings now, which help, but they are no substitute for being in a room where we can really get the creative energy flowing. Combine these with issues along with the technical difficulties of production at the international scale, and the problems become a lot bigger." With limitations lifting in many parts of the world, Arcane Season 2 has been able to push on. So what about the episodes? Will Season 2 follow the Season 3 Part 9 episode structure? Well, it seems like the episode list will feature 9 episodes much like the first. There might be room for a 10th episode, but since Netflix hasn't released a confirmed list, it's hard to say. We would love to see more episodes that can expand the world of Piltover and Zaun together. Speaking of expansion, here are the characters you can look forward to seeing in Season 2. We already know that the series stables like Vi and Jinx will continue their journey as sisters on opposite sides. They are played by Haley Steinfeld and Ella Purnell respectively. We also know that the rise of Caitlyn Kierman as a member of the powerful Piltover family will continue in Season 2. In case you didn't know, she's played by the talented Katie Lung, who appeared in the Harry Potter franchise as Cho Chang. We will also see the path Jace takes as council member and lead innovator for Piltover's greatest and most dangerous creation. Victor's tumultuous journey in Season 1 will definitely be explored, and so will his delicate and decaying relationship with Piltover and his former science partner, Jace Tallis. He is played by Harry Lloyd. We also know that Humdinger won't be dying anytime soon given his special status. Will return to try and balance the mess that Piltover has become after the attacks on the council building. He will be joined by the formidable Mel Madera, played by Tox Olgun Doyle. Though we didn't see much of Echo's childhood during the disaster at the Undercity, his story is sure to compel most of Season 2. Echo grew to be the literal time bender, and we can't wait to see how he fared after the death of his mentor. He clearly grew up to be a force to be reckoned with. He's played by Reed Shannon, and the young version of Echo was played by Miles Brown. We also get to know more about Singrid, Silco's monster serum making partner and Victor's childhood mentor in the second season. He disappeared for a bit after the first act, but came in strong in part 3. He's another complicated antagonist whose story I'd love to see develop. Though we're sure these guys will be in Season 2, we're unaware of how Silco will play a part. Silco's a perfect example of a well-rounded villain who has multiple nuisance layers to his own arc. He went through Season 1 looking for a way to deal with people Piltover and made a monster serum that infected the Undercity and ruined many lives. Silco met his demise at the hands of the child he manipulated and took in years ago. With Jinx on the run after her trauma and the attack on the council, she will most likely suffer some hallucinations that will feature her former father figure. She dealt with the same hallucinations after the death of her brothers in the first season. So which stories will we see? Well, the intense cliffhanger must be continued, and we know that Jinx is on the run. We also know that despite the council voting to make Zaun an independent city, the attack will likely change everything and probably lead to an all-out war. No doubt the relationship between Echo and Humdinger will be highlighted, as well as the budding closeness that Caitlin and Vi share. So when will we see Arcane Season 2? Well, you might think that the first episodes will be released around the same time next year, so that means November 2022. It could be seen earlier, but that might not be the case after a recent Twitter post from a Riot team member, CEO Nicola Laurent. He broke the bad news when he said, "So yeah, we are working on #Arcane Season 2. The good news, you won't have to wait 6 years, the time it took us to make Season 1. The bad news is it's not coming in 2022. Why? He explained Riot Games' stance, saying, "It is very important for us to keep both creative and financial control as we enter the world of TV. We are committed to Arcane for multiple seasons. Creative will have the space to craft amazing stories and deep characters." I know it sounds like we could have another Stranger Things on our hands, but I don't want them to rush the second season just for the sake of an early release. The fans want something tangible and, if possible, better than Season 1. We will most likely see Arcane in 2023. Mark your calendars. Meanwhile, you can dive into the vast world of League of Legends and try to figure out who might show up in Season 2. You can stream the first season all over again, as all 9 episodes have been released. If you're an Arcane fan, then go ahead and tell me which characters are your favorites and which ones you can't stand in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe for even more videos. I'll see you at the next one.